Hello and welcome back to the podcast that also hates children. Welcome back to the best part of your week. Welcome back to another episode of the Love, Death and Movies podcast, Internet's number one film breakdown and a review show. The show that crushes watch lists month after month. Every month is a month or two is a different genre. Every week in those couple of months is a different film in that genre. So follow us on the ride. Join us on everything and watch some movies. Completely stumbled. I tripped everywhere. With me each and every week, Ash vs. Movies. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's your week been, Ash?
Pretty good so far. It's only Tuesday night, so pretty early in the week, but it's kind of cruising, honestly. But yeah, pretty chill. Not too much going on. Kind of busy from tomorrow, like through Saturday, but yeah, works fine. Busy.
Oh, yeah.
Watched Twinless finally.
Yeah, what'd you think? I saw your
I
review.
loved it.
Knew you would.
I loved it.
You reckon it's up there with your movie of the year?
I think Weapons is still number one for me right now, but I think I have it
very
number
Ash,
two.
that movie. That movie's
Yeah.
so Ash. Yeah.
I feel like the theater experience might have helped it, which isn't
Yep.
really fair, but I mean, Twinless obviously didn't even play near me, so I couldn't have seen it in theaters. Just very different movies, but yeah, definitely glad I finally watched it after 10 months of when I was supposed to watch it.
Lived up to the hype.
Definitely lived up to the hype, but it also like surprised me. It was like fresh in that way where it was like it went in a totally different direction than I was expecting.
Hell yeah,
So.
that's what you got. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah, and I'm seeing The Long Walk tomorrow.
Oh, let me know what you think of that. I think you'd like that as well.
Speaking of Stephen King.
Yeah, absolutely. My week was good. Well, so far so good. It's kind of a hectic couple of weeks. So I saw Black Phone 2 yesterday. Little 9 a.m. movie. How about that? I'm just at
It's
like
quite the movie for
Universal
9 a.m..
Universal Pictures Theaterette in their office. It was cool. It's just like this office building, and then you go into a room. And it's like a full, like mini cinema. It's really cool.
That's crazy.
Movie's great. I think you're gonna wait. Did you like the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna love this one. Like there's like no spoilers at all. It just feels like a massive crossover. Like it's a combination of Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. Doesn't that
I don't
sound
love
fun?
Friday the 13th, but Jason is great. So it's like,
But the main point of the Friday the 13th is just like, a random like youth camp.
right,
And that's what,
right.
yeah, and like that's the tie into Friday, but the majority of it is Nightmare on Elm Street. There's scenes of it where, like, I'm not going to say anything that happens in any scene, but like they reduce the quality of the shot, and it literally looks like you're watching Nightmare on Elm Street. Like it's
Oh, I
fascinating.
can't wait. I mean, it's
Yeah.
my favorite horror film. I loved Black Phone, the first one, so I'm sure
Black Phone's
this one,
great,
and
yeah.
it seems kind of atmospheric from the trailer,
Very,
with snow
yeah.
and everything.
And he's Scott Derrickson's son did the score, and the score rips. Score rips. It's unreal.
You got me hyped now.
Yeah, so I'm interviewing the main cast of it tomorrow for work, which I'm really keen for to chat with them. I was going to do Scott Derrickson, but apparently he's sick. Oh well. Tonight I'm seeing Tron Ares. I'm going to the Australian premiere for that. Apparently that is Dog Water, so can't wait to waste my time there. Seeing Roofman tomorrow night, and then I'm away for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and get back Monday for a friend's wedding. It's like one of the Ash. Get this for a fucking wedding. This guy's going all out. It's like a weekend away at this like facility where everyone stays on site. Everyone's got their own lodge and everything, like their own cabin. And then it's like we get there the Friday, the wedding's on the Saturday, and then we leave on the Sunday. And then me and my girlfriend are going off to like for another night somewhere else. My birthday was last week, so she's surprising me with like a destination. I'm pretty sure it's Tokyo. She hasn't confirmed.
I hope for your sake.
Yeah, but like the some of the shit that's planned for this wedding is nuts. Like there's like espresso martini towers. Yeah, everyone gets a cowboy or cowgirl hat, which is really fun. I'm the celebrant, so that makes it even better.
Yeah.
Which
Is
will
this
be
your
good fun.
first official one?
Yes, I'm not fully approved yet, so it's just like this is going to be like a wedding without it being legal, and then whenever I get the final, I'm literally waiting on my government to give me the green tick. Submitted at the end of July.
Wow.
Hurry up. Yeah, so that's this week. And then I got South by Southwest Sydney all of next week. So it's just like movie every night.
Well, lucky you.
Can't be
What is
stopped.
your life?
Can't be stopped. But that could be another time that we chat about that, Ash, because today we're going into our next installment of the Book of Horror Remakes. We're doing like kind of a more recent one for this one. We're doing It Chapter 1, of course, written by Stephen King. which came out in 2017. The director was Andy Muschietti, which you might also know who directed The Flash. I believe it Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are better than The Flash. But hey, the guy's got a little bit of range, I guess. Quick synopsis. In the summer of 1989, a group of bullied kids band together to destroy a shape-shifting monster which disguises itself as a clown and preys on the children of Derry, their small Maine town. Ash, what's your history of it? What do you think of this remake?
I really like this remake.
Yeah.
My history with it, I mean, it goes back. I used to rent, or not rent, I guess it would have been on TV, but I swear at one point they had a Blockbuster, which was like the video store here when I was a kid.
Yep.
I swear they would
we had
have it
Blockbusters,
available to rent.
Oh,
You
the
had
old school
Blockbusters?
movie, like the Tim Curry one?
Yeah, I believe it was. I know it was a TV like mini series technically, but I swear there was at one point where they started letting you rent it because I swear I would rent
Yeah,
it
it
and
was
watch
a,
it
it
for
was
like
a
nights in a
two-part
row.
it was a two-part TV movie.
Right.
So yeah, I had the same where it was like a dual like VHS that you could
Okay.
get. Yeah, so you're not crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That I was gonna say I don't remember if it was only I watched it on TV, but that seems crazy because I swear I remember like renting it and watching it for like days in a row, and then
Yeah.
I would return it after I watched it like 4 or 5 times in a row. I don't know what it was about it. I think I just like had this fascination with horror at that time, and the clown thing just really was a balance of like scaring me but also intriguing me into watching the movie over and over again. So I always really enjoyed the original. I felt like there was definitely some aspects that weren't like amazing about it. So it was fun to know this was getting made, obviously, after being a lover of that for such a long time. And I think they nailed it for the most part. I don't think it's a perfect film by any means, but I think the cast is great. I think that the way they did the clown differently added a lot of like different type of scariness to it. And I think obviously the gore takes it to a next level. And I think they went darker with a lot of just even the storyline and some of the bullying and all of that. It was just really brutal. So it just added to the entire tone of the movie. And also, I mean, the way it looks is great. It's like
Yeah.
The Ring, different, but that same like green, just like
Reminds me of
hazy
Stand
look.
By Me.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is like the scariest like version of Pennywise?
God. I mean, there's definitely something about Tim Curry's version that is
Oh
really
no, I mean in
haunting.
this movie, like
and-
there's different versions of like the scares
Oh,
of like
yes.
what each
Yes,
kid
yes,
see.
yes. Oh, gosh. I'm trying to think. I mean, I feel like the one in the very beginning with Georgie is definitely like one of
I
the
see
better
it.
ones.
The one that fucks me up is the twisted face woman. You know,
Oh,
with
you
the
mean like all of the kids like
yeah, because
fears,
all the kids' fears they're like from
how they see it. I got you. I
yeah
thought you just meant Pennywise. Yeah, that one is pretty creepy. It does look a little cheesy, the CGI,
yeah.
just a little bit, but it is
So as he
definitely
picks up the
creepy.
frame though, and she's not there, and you're like, oh
You know something's about to go down.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that one is definitely really good, and I do also think that the like leper guy,
Oh, yeah,
just the whole
gross.
scene with Eddie's character whenever he first like sees it, it's pretty terrifying.
He's awesome. I think he's
He
my
is.
favorite actor in this movie, other than Bill, of course. Have you heard the story of like the first day of shooting with Bill with Jack? I think his name's Jack Glazer.
Jaden something.
I think it's Jack Glazer. I think it is. Is it?
Oh, Jack Glazer is Eddie. Yeah, I thought you meant
Yeah,
Bill.
yeah.
No, I
Yeah, my
haven't
bad.
heard.
No, I mean other than Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, I thought you meant the character of Bill.
Yeah, yeah, no, a fair confusion. So they're doing the one of the first scenes was where he's coming out of like the fridge and he's like twisting in front and he like gets right in his face and he's like drooling all over Eddie and stuff. And then it went cut and then Bill Skarsgård was just like, "You okay? You all right?" And he's just like, "I love what you're doing with the character. This is great. I love what you're doing." Like it's just like this kid's just all professional. Like
He's like 11 and like 40 all in the same body. I swear.
exactly,
It's
yeah. He's a
so
mad
funny.
professional. I love it so much. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this movie's great. I think this was like this really regenerated a lot of people's love for horror. I know I used to live with a guy that used to hate horror, and then he went and watched this. He goes, "This was great." And then he started to open his eyes at like what good horror movies were, because like back in the day, like a lot of the mainstream viewership would see horror as just like cheap jump scares, which it was. There was a big period towards the end of the early 2000s where it just like jump scare, and that's what horror movies were, and because they were cheap to make and they made heaps of money. But then this came out and like really regenerated that love of like gritty horror that had a story with it, and that's why I think it really like this movie made $700 million, a 40 million budget, which is a
Yeah, it
nuts
definitely
return.
doesn't surprise me at all.
But if you think of what it did for the horror genre as a whole, I think it's earned billions. Like in terms of like just this regeneration of people's love for horror, which is pretty cool.
I didn't know that because it's never been an issue for me. Like I've just always found ways to like find horror films I love,
Same
but
with
that
you. Yeah.
is not surprising to me considering I remember the theater experience and I had friends who weren't even really big movie people that saw it and were obsessed with it. Like the costumes
Yeah.
of Pennywise, like that version of him for Halloween that year was crazy, I remember. And even like the Georgie rain jacket, combo with that. I remember seeing like crazy. So I just remember that first scene with him getting taken. Like I remember it vividly in the theater, and some of the jump scares of like when he comes out of the film that they're looking at in the garage. Like
Oh, it's
some of
so
those,
good.
they're like even the one with that you were just talking about with he comes out of the fridge and all of that. I remember vividly. That was almost 10 years ago at this point, but I remember seeing it in theaters and being like, "Damn, like I like horror, but this movie's it's scary and
It's
it's really
scary.
gory."
I'm trying to find because I remember taking a photo of the first night I saw it, and they had like a guy dressed up like a clown going back and forth on the aisles. I was trying to find that. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but that it was also brings back like the marketing of this film. Do you remember like? I'm not sure how it was in America or whatever barbaric state you lived in at that time, but in Australia it was like they just tied red balloons up to every like heaps of
Yeah,
sewers. Like so, I was like, it's so cheap, but it's so good. It's very effective. I thought that was really
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, if you mean people think of a red balloon to this day, they associate it with obviously these movies, but more realistically, they're definitely with the 2017 one. I feel like the original one is not one that has been as widely watched as
No,
this was. So
I'm
yeah,
looking at
I
it.
agree with you on Bill Skarsgård. He's obviously like insanely good in this. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, he's unreal. All right, let's get into it. Couldn't find the photo. He's gonna have to believe me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I believe.
Derry, Maine, October 1988. Bill helps his little brother Georgie, make a paper sailboat, calling it the SS Georgie. Georgie wants to go outside and sail it in the pouring rain, but Bill is too sick to join him. Talk about regrets, am I right? The brothers hug before Georgie runs out to play. Georgie sails his boat down the street. He chases after it and accidentally runs into a roadblock. The boat sails to the end of the street until it falls down the sewer. Georgie runs to try and get it, worried that Bill will be mad. Bill's going to kill me. As he looks into the sewer, a pair of yellow eyes emerge. They belong to an entity calling itself Pennywise the Dancing Clown, played by Bill Skarsgård. Pennywise playfully speaks to Georgie before offering his boat back. Georgie reaches for it, only for Pennywise to grab his arm, sink his massive teeth into it. The creature rips off Georgie's arm and leaves him crying crying for Bill before dragging him down into the sewers. Brutal start of a film. Also, brilliant start as well. One of the more great starts to a movie of the modern horror era. I think it's
Absolutely.
great. Also, to show the kid without arms, wild,
Right? Like that's what
wild.
I was thinking too when I was rewatching this. I was like, "Oh, that I remember this being like bad, but man, like that they don't hold
No,
any punches. Like they just go for it."
absolutely. 8 months later, June 1989, we meet Mike Hanlon, and his grandfather Leroy is making him kill a sheep with a nail gun. Leroy lectures the boy before doing the deed himself. It's the last day of school. Bill and his friend Richie, played by Finn Wolfhard, Eddie and Stanley Uris, who all form the Losers Club, are heading out to start their summer. Unfortunately, they run into the school psychopathic bully, Henry Bowers, played by Nicholas Hamilton, who I met back in like 2016. He did a movie called Captain Fantastic with Viggo Mortensen.
Okay.
And like I was in the crowd and I asked a question to the cast, and he responded being like, "Oh, an Australian, yay!" And then we like had a chat after. I was just like,
I love
"Kid's going
that.
places. Good on him. I
Yeah.
hope he does more." Yeah, Henry Bowers and his goons, Patrick and Victor, and Belch is his full name, by the way. Belch Huggins.
Yes.
Bill tells Henry that he sucks after the punk mocks his friends, and Henry approaches Bill threateningly until he sees his father, Officer Bowers, standing behind Bill. He walks away, but not before licking his palm and smearing it on Bill's face. A girl named Beverly is smoking in the bathroom. A group of mean girls, led by Greta, taunt her and accuse Beverly of being a slut. One girl fills a trash bag full of water and dumps it on her, but Bev covers her head with a book. Still disgusting though. On her way out of the building, Beverly meets the new kid Ben. He's picked on because of his weight and he doesn't have any friends. Bev signs his yearbook, and Bev signs his yearbook, and Ben obviously develops a crush on her. Hilarious. Good
Ben
luck,
from
buddy.
Soch.
Amen. You just know that kid, like without seeing the second movie, you know that
You
kid's
know
going to
he's
grow
yeah,
up jacked. Like
he's gonna
you
be so
just know.
hot.
Yeah, you just know that glow up is coming. Yo,
Oh yeah,
if we ever do chapter 2, he might get on the list. He might.
yeah.
When Bill gets home, his father Zach scolds him for cheating creating a model of tubes of the sewer system in Derry, since he believes that Georgie is only missing. Zach tells him to accept that Georgie is dead. Wild conversation. Did you also know that this is very evident towards how Stephen King wrote this town? Is that all the adults in this movie and in this town are like not human at all. Like they just have zero emotion and they're not human at all. There's like a little thing like they're like he kind of hints towards it that Pennywise is kind of taking their humanity whilst being like the demon of the town.
That makes a lot of sense for how they treat their children, but also even just the fact that her dad like can't see it in the bathroom.
Yeah,
There's just they make it very clear without saying it directly that
yeah, like
something is just off.
when is it Ben? Yeah, when Ben's getting like his stomach cut on the side of the road, and then
Or
that
people
car
just
comes
drive
by.
by.
Yeah, it's like a little reference towards that as well.
Yeah.
So Mike goes to the butcher shop to make a delivery. Behind the door around the alley, he hears a sound of screaming and pounding. The door opens and several burnt hands start sticking out. Mike then sees Pennywise, but is nearly run over by Bowers' gang in a car. By the way, that car is like way too expensive for that gang. It's like a $200,000 car. What they're
Yeah, and
driving.
they're like 15, so how are they driving?
Great question. Mike flees. Stan is at a synagogue studying for his bar mitzvah. There is a painting in the rabbi's office that creeps him out, showing a woman with a distorted face. The painting falls, and when Stan picks it up, the woman is gone. He turns around, and it manifests as the woman with a fanged smile. Stan runs away. Ben is at a library looking up Derry's history. From a series of articles, he learns that the children in Derry have been disappearing under mysterious circumstances for centuries. The book contains a depiction of Pennywise and a missing boy's head in a tree. Ben. Ben is then lured into the basement where he sees the headless boy before being chased out by Pennywise. Over here, fat boy. And on his way home, Ben is attacked by the Bowers gang. Henry's goons hold him up against the bridge. Patrick wants to burn Ben with a lighter and bug spray, but Henry plans to carve his name in Ben's stomach. Idiot. An old couple drive by and see this, but do nothing. It's implied that it is there and has a presence with a red balloon. Henry only cuts an H before Ben kicks him in the nuts and rolls over the bridge into the woods. The punks chase after Ben. Meanwhile, the losers are near the sewers as Ben has convinced his friends to help him and find Georgie. Ben falls into the water near them, and the boys grab him and bring him to safety. Ben joins the gang. So, anything to kind of add towards the beginning of this, like kind of the introduction of Pennywise? I love how you do like little snippets of like how you mentioned at the beginning of the different variations of Pennywise. I think that's a really smart way to do it, and I thought how they did it was awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, it's almost like as you get further into the like towards the middle of the movie, you see like these little pieces of him, like even in the drainage or gutter. You only see like his face and it's sort of like shadowy. And then with like Mike, when he's hanging in the meat locker area, you see him hanging and there's a body, but you don't really get a good up close.
Very distorted.
Yeah, it's like, and then it's slowly built. I think it might be Eddie's situation where he sees the full body like standing there. And then like as we get closer and closer to the middle, then you have like his whole body coming into the presence of the kid. So I think it's a really good way to like build up the suspense and build up like how terrifying it is. I think it does a better job than the original in that sense. And I also do think that this movie is better in a chapter 1 and 2, where it's like we just focus on when they're kids, we just focus on when they're adults with some like flashbacks. I think that was a better way to do it than
Absolutely.
blending it in and out, which I do think it works in some ways with the original, but I do like that aspect of this one because we get to spend a little bit of time with each kid, like as you just walked through. I like that we see, an occurrence with Stan, an occurrence with Ben, and it just all these little moments that build up to them all sort of coming together and, fighting back at it. So, yeah, I just like the pacing, I guess, and the structure of how they decide to tell the story. But yeah, otherwise the bullying is rough. Like I
I was about to
actually
say
was
the
like
bullying's wild. Like it's like wild bad.
really bad. I'm sure it exists and it's happened to people, especially in a town like this. You have to imagine like if the parents are so disconnected and these kids, it's a small town, you're gonna have the sheriff's son who's obviously so messed up because his dad is beating on him and ridiculing him, so he's replicating what he sees. And obviously Beverly having no mother, like it all makes sense. But I was like, I forgot how brutal it is to watch,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was bad. So it was very satisfying when Henry gets what he deserves.
Oh, it's nuts what happens to him. It's nuts what happens to every kid in this movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Patrick runs into the sewers to try and get Ben, splitting from his friends. He encounters demonic-looking children that make him run, but he comes across a dead end. A bunch of red balloons appear before him. They all pop and reveal Pennywise, who promptly devours Patrick. That's such a good scene, where the little the balloon just coming towards him. And it goes, "Welcome to Derry" or "I Heart Derry." Great. I love how much Derry is like a character in this, which is I can't wait for this show. This show is gonna be
I'm
so
excited.
good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Are you gonna rewatch chapter 2 before the show?
Honestly, probably just because
I'm the
I
same
just
because we've already
rewatched this.
done one, right? Yeah,
I don't think it's going to apply much because obviously it's going to be further into the future.
but
But
it's just giving you that little extra taste.
did you notice, speaking of the show, that they mentioned the 1962 the black spot incident like a couple of times in this movie? I think
Oh, so
that's what's
that's
going to be the focus of.
oh cool. Oh cool. I'm all about it. See, love that shit. The boys go to the pharmacy to get cotton balls and bandages, but they are short of money. Beverly is there buying tampons when she runs into the boys, and after hearing their problem, Bev flirts with the pharmacist, Mr. Keene, who's disgusting, to distract him. He's so gross. So he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you look just like Lois Lane."
Yeah.
It's fucking weirdo. He comes across as a creep, of course, but she manages to distract him long enough for the boys to steal their supplies and for her to sneak away with some cigarettes. Bev goes outside and joins the boys when she sees the boys tending to Ben. Beverly goes home to her father, who is even bigger of a creep than Mr. Keene. He comes onto his daughter, causing her to run into the bathroom crying. She then proceeds to cut off all of her hair until it's a shorter length. The boys, now joined by Ben, are at a quarry about to jump into the lake, but no one is eager to go first. Bev shows up and jumps in first, leading the others to join. They have fun while swimming and hanging out. Later, Ben tells everyone what he read about in Derry's history. Which I think is another point to when they mention the black spot.
Yeah.
Eddie is walking home when he passes the abandoned house on Niebolt Street. He's suddenly attacked by a leper, causing Eddie to run through the house's yard. Sorry. As he reaches the fence, he sees Pennywise trying to lure him towards him. Eddie runs under the fence and escapes. Bev is in her room with a postcard with a poem written on it by a secret admirer. She thinks it's Bill, and when it's actually Ben that wrote it. From her bathroom, Bev hears voices of children. She looks into the sink where the voices are, and clumps of hair start reaching out to grab her before a fountain of blood gushes all over the bathroom. Mr. Marsh comes in to see Bev horrified, but he cannot see the blood. He simply comments that her hair makes her look like a boy, which might be a bit of a reason
But
why
also,
she
she
did it.
didn't look like a boy.
She definitely didn't look like a boy. No,
But
but
that's
like
just the classic, like, dad of that type.
absolutely. But I think it's also like that's what she was going for. So
Yeah,
that
she
he
didn't
would
want him to
fuck off.
see her in any kind of way that was feminine. Yeah.
Yep, correct. Bill is walking around the house when he sees what he looks like Georgie running around. Shocked, he follows Georgie into the basement, which is flooding. Georgie steps out and invites Bill to join him, saying, "We all float down here. You'll float too." He'll repeat it, you'll float too, until he yells and decomposes. Pennywise then emerges from the water and tries to get Bill, but he runs out of the basement.
That
The
seems
next
pretty
day,
terrifying.
that's so good. When then he's just like a puppet and he like slams it down. There's some really cool effects in this movie. The next day, the kids are riding their bikes when they see Mike's bike and the Bowers gang's car, the one that's like 300 grand. They go down by the creek and find the punks harassing Mike for being black. Bev throws a rock at Henry's head, just fucking domes him,
Yeah.
which initiates a rock throwing war between both groups. Mike runs over to the loser's side while Vic and Belch run away as Henry is knocked unconscious. Eat shit. As the kids walk away with Mike, Bill mentions what he saw in his house. Mike backs him up on having seen Pennywise. Mike mentions that he saw and talks about how mentions what he saw. Talks about how his old house was burnt down by racist goons, and his parents died trying to break down the door to his room, with their skin having melted down to the bone. Wild. Richie is the only one that hasn't been haunted, but he admits to have been terrified by clowns. The kids go to Bill's garage, this is fucked, where they look over a map of Derry through a projector. They see the sewers are all linked to the Neibolt house, where it lives. The projector then starts working itself, showing pictures of Bill and Georgie with their parents, but with Pennywise's face appearing over their mother. They knock the projector over, but it keeps playing until Pennywise fully emerges from the screen and tries to get the kids. They manage to get out of the garage before he can harm them. So, Ash, anything to add there? There's like I don't know, again, this is what I really like this movie has, just like little snippets. You keep going towards each kid. The only kid that we don't get too much of is Stan. I feel like we should get more Stan, but
Yeah, that's pretty consistent with the original, though. So I have to imagine that that's how the book is. I haven't read it, but yeah, I wish he was in it more. But he also seems the most hesitant in so many moments. So I guess it kind of makes sense. I do. Isn't that how the movie opens in the original? Him in the bathtub as an adult.
oh, maybe.
I think that's the whole thing. That's how they all come together.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so
you're right. I need to rewatch
he's
that
just
movie.
kind of got an interesting character, I feel like, just across the board. But yeah, I do agree with you. I think that it follows a very nice like pace of just giving these little nuggets and kind of getting you afraid, getting you not sure, like who's gonna get taken next, if any, or are they gonna be able to fight back.
Yeah.
But I do like some of the moments they get to just feel like kids in the summer, like going and swimming and hanging out and sunbathing, listening to music. Like, yes, obviously there's this looming thing over them, but I do like those little tiny moments we get in there where it just feels like a summertime movie, like Stand By Me, where
Yeah.
it's like tragic stuff is happening, but it still just feels like a friendship movie at the end of the day. So I do like that aspect of this one, and there's some really good music in this movie as well. I wouldn't call it a score, but even some of the sounds that they play, like sound effects they play, they're very reminiscent of the time, but also just fit the vibe of the movie really well.
Yeah, some of the shots of just them like all riding bikes just down the street. It's like iconic now.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
like a classic
even
80s movie. Yeah.
yeah, and even Richie keeps mentioning it's just like we're kids. It's summer. We should just be outside. Like yeah,
He's not wrong. Yeah, and he has some really funny one-liners. It's funny to watch Finn Wolfhard be so little because I know that he's like gigantic now. He's like 6'2".
yeah, it's great.
22
But
years
he's
old.
great in this, to be honest. I mean,
He's
welcome-
funny. Yeah, he does a good
He's
job.
like, "Welcome to the Losers Club, asshole!" Like at the end, like it's great. Yeah, like him and Eddie just have really good back and forths, which is good fun. It's just always in the background as well. It's like they're like just like bickering at the back, and like you can try and listen to them and have a laugh, or you can just like focus on what the main conversation is.
Absolutely.
really cool.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is that I really like Beverly. I think more than the first like original movie, I really like this actress. I like the way she portrayed the character. I think she has a lot of depth. I think that a lot of even the quiet moments that she has, like she does a really good job portraying exactly how that character is probably feeling. And it makes all of the moments where she gets to fight back that much more powerful, whether it be at her dad or at Pennywise. So yeah, I enjoy like her joining up with the group, and I like once all the kids are together, including like Mike and Ben and her. I think that's when it starts to really like move, in a better direction. Like obviously it's great before, but I do like when they all come together.
Yeah, so that's Sophia Lillis. So she was in It
Yeah.
Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. She was also in Asteroid City, which I didn't love
Hmm.
Asteroid City, to be honest.
I didn't love it either. She's in Dungeons and Dragons movie
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, which I liked, Dungeons and
Me too.
Dragons. That movie rips. That movie was good fun. But yeah, no, she definitely has a bright future. You can kind of
Actually,
just
if you're
tell.
looking for something to watch that's just one season and got canceled, it's called I'm Not Okay with This. It's on Netflix and it's got her and the kid that plays Stan. They're
Oh,
both in it. And it's only one season and I really like it. I thought it was really fun.
okay. No, I'm all in now. I love a one season and done. That's good.
This
No
could
one
have kept going, but it also did kind of wrap up. So it was one of
good.
those like
That's what we
weird
need, though.
ones.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
It's good. Anyway, the losers go to the Neibolt house to face it head on. Bill, Richie, and Eddie enter the house while the others stay outside as lookouts. Looking out for what? Richie sees a missing poster of himself and freaks out. Love that. That's like one of the coolest things. It's like, it says today. Like, it's unreal. But Bill reminds him that it's not real. Eddie gets separated from his friends when Pennywise finds him. He falls through the floor and lands in the kitchen, breaking his arm. Bill and Richie try to reach him through three doors. The first door that reveals a headless girl. The second door traps Richie inside with a room full of clowns. He sees a coffin with a dummy of himself in it. He shuts it, and Pennywise jumps out. He tries to attack Richie, but he runs out of the room. Pennywise returns to his attention to Eddie, but Bill and Richie get to him before the clown eats him. Beverly, this is the scene where it's like the first scene shot, and Bill Skarsgård recalls it in a couple of interviews. Beverly then shows up to drive a spear through Pennywise's head, forcing him to retreat. Eddie's mum forbids the losers from hanging out with him after she sees his broken arm. His mum's just fucking weird.
Yep.
Bill and Richie then get into a fight when Richie says that their whole pursuit of Georgie has nearly got them killed. The losers part ways as the boys are too terrified to keep going. Now, it's now August, and the kids continue to going about with their lives. Eddie goes to the pharmacy to pick up his asthma medication, only for Greta, who now works behind the counter, to tell him that they're all just placebos. She then writes loser on his cast. Henry is with Vic and Belch shooting things with his dad's gun. He orders Belch to bring him a cat to shoot. This is where I get angry. This is where I'm like, everyone now deserves everything that they're about to get. You don't bring a cat to a gunfight. You're going to lose that fight. You're going to lose that fucking fight every time.
Don't fuck with cats.
Amen. But Officer Bowers shows up to take his gun off Henry. He then shoots the ground around Henry's feet to humiliate him in front of his friends and exposes him as a coward. What's the line he uses? He goes, "See that, guys? Every bit of fear makes a tough man crumble." Something like that.
Yeah,
It's
something
like
along those lines.
really good. It's a
It's
really
really
good
good.
line. Later, Henry sees a red balloon on his mailbox. Inside is a knife sent by it. Pretty sure it's his knife that he lost.
From
Yeah.
Ben. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes inside as his father is asleep with the TV on. On the screen appears a woman with children, all urging Henry to kill his father. He does so by sticking the knife in his neck and letting him bleed out. The kids on the TV, or all of its victims, then start chanting, "Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all." At the Marshes' house, Beverly's dad attempts to act upon his lust towards his daughter. That was a weird sentence to write. Don't worry, I know. She fights him off and runs into the bathroom. When Mr. Marsh gets there, Beverly whacks him over across the face with a toilet lid, killing him. Wild. Just as she's about to leave, Pennywise finds her and takes her. When she just turns around, that's a good jump scare. He's just there all of a sudden. Good jump scare. Bill goes by Beverly's house and finds her father dead in the bathroom and says, "You'll die if you try," written on the wall in blood. He realizes Bev has been taken by it, so he goes to make amends with his friends to rescue her. When they get to Eddie, his mum forbids him from leaving and joining his friends, but he defies her when he confronts her about over the placebos. He then ditches her and joins his friends. So before we get into the final bit of the film, you think kind of add here of just like the fallout of all the friends and then the come together of just like, do you reckon it's just like it had healed and then that's why it's just like it took him a couple of months to get over getting a spike through his head and then he's back?
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense considering what happens to him at the end as well. Like, anytime he gets hurt, he does need time to heal. And he even, like, it even knows that he needs, like, the 27 years to, like, fully
Yeah.
be ready to come back for more. So I do think he has a limit. And I think that when he gets hurt, every time that happens, I think, or even just them not having the fear or like not being afraid of him in those moments kind of weakens him. So yeah, I think that 2 months kind of makes sense. Like he wasn't quite ready to be done, but he just needed a little break. I guess that's the best way of putting it. But yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
do think that that Bev moment with her dad is very satisfying to watch her, hit him across the head with the toilet seat cover, or I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
the toilet tank cover. And then I also I like that they're all just standing up for themselves. You have like Eddie standing up against his mom, her kind of being, I don't know, they're all just sort of like getting more comfortable, I guess, doing what they know is right, which I
Yeah.
think is good character progression. But obviously, I think the fallout was necessary. That's sort of expected in these types of movies, and then the comeback together for the final like climax, third act of the movie, I think is again structurally good. This movie follows a really good structure throughout the entire thing, so it's easy to follow. It's makes it fun that way. It progresses the suspense and gore little by little. So yeah, I think it works really well. Yeah, Eddie's mom
She's
she's
weird
an
as
interesting
fuck.
one.
She just
Yeah.
looks like she smells. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, just like the outfits, it's like summertime, but she's wearing like full on like
Like a full
head to
moo.
toe like snow gear, it looks like. I don't know, it's just she's a
It
very
is like snow gear, isn't it?
very troubled woman. But like you said, all the parents are quite odd in this place, so
Yeah, maybe they've all gone mad. Anyway,
they might
the
have gone mad.
boys go to the Neibolt house and find a well where it dwells. I like that line, by the way. Thank you very much. They climb down a rope before Mike can head down. Henry shows up and attacks him. He starts pulling the rope up to prevent the boys from climbing back up. Henry tries to kill Mike with the nail gun that he brought, but Mike fights him off and manages to push him down the well, sending him to his apparent death. Ooh.
Very.
Going further into the well, Stan is attacked by it as the woman from the painting. She munches on his head. It's also a good little sentence to write. But the boys scare it away and confront a mortified Stan. All the boys head further into the well where it's its lair. Which, by the way, the whole look of this lair is unreal. And then you
Ridiculous.
understand what the line of like they all float
Afloat.
down here.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. All the children he's taken are floating in the deadlights above the. Sorry, there's a car just revving outside my house. Then, in a kind of trance, the boys find Bev floating. They put her down, and Ben kisses her to break her out of the trance. It would work with me as well. Bill then sees Georgie emerge from the shadows. Georgie tells Bill that he's missed him and was waiting for him to come to him. Bill hugs his brother, but he knows it's not really Georgie, and he shoots him in the head.
Brutal. I mean, can we just talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
The mental, like, torment on a 14-year-old child to have to shoot his baby brother in the
Yeah.
head because he knows it's not really him. Awful.
Yeah. But I love there's like a good 10 seconds where it's just the dead bodies there and you're like, was he right? And then he starts
Yeah.
moving. It's Pennywise, obviously.
They want you to question, like the characters to question it too. Like, did he actually just do that after all this time?
It's so good. His body writhes on the ground. Writhes? Wriggles around all over the ground until he turns into Pennywise. The clown tries to kill the kids, but they fight him off until he has hold of Bill. Pennywise gives the others the option to die together or to leave him with just Bill. Bill tells them all to run, but Richie is the first to fight back. Wait, I think I got the quote somewhere here. It's such a good quote. No, I don't think I've got it. But at the end of it, he's just like, "Welcome to the Losers Club, asshole," and it's great.
Yeah.
Which we love because at first we're like, there was a big, misunderstanding between Bill and Richie. So it's good that they all came together. The kids then start beating the crap out of Pennywise until he is powerless, unable to hurt them because they no longer fear him. Before Bill can strike the final blow to the clown's cracking skull. Pennywise retreats into the darkness and thus escapes. The kidnapped children then float downwards, and Bill then finds Georgie's raincoat. He realizes that Georgie truly is gone. Bill breaks down in tears as his friends gather around and hug him. It's now September. The losers swear a blood oath to return to Derry in 27 years should it ever return. They hang out for a while until each of them gradually leaves, only leaving Bill and Bev staying behind. She's going to move to Portland now. As she walks away, Bill runs up to her and kisses her. That is the end of It, Chapter 1.
I've
What do
got
you
the
think of
quote
it?
here, by the way.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You punched me, made me walk through shitty water, dragged me through a crack house, and now I'm gonna have to kill this fucking clown.
So good. Now I'm gonna have to kill this fucking clown. It's so good.
Yeah. They're gazebos. They're bullshit.
Yeah, the gazebos. Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, so
Ash, what's your favorite scene of this film, and what do you think of this movie as
oh
a
my
whole, and
god.
your score? Because there's a lot of good scenes.
There's so many good scenes. It is
There
so
is.
hard. I felt like I was like, oh, that's my favorite. And then another one would happen. And I was like, oh, that's my favorite. I think the scene in the kitchen when he's doing like the creepy like walk to the side and like, yeah, and that whole scene in the house where, you first have Richie seeing clowns, you have them getting split up, doors shutting, Eddie falling, breaking, like that whole scene, I think is terrifying and
Yeah.
amazing. And if I was like 15, I would not be able to watch that. I'd be
See,
so
I
scared.
agree with you. The scene where they turn around, there's the three doors. That's my favorite, and it's just like really scary, like just scary, not scary at all. And they're like, let's go that one. Let's go. It's
It's
so
really
good.
campy. This movie really has moments of being campy, which I think surprised me. I don't know why I don't remember it being that way from like the last time I watched it, but I do feel like the more I watch it, the more I realize that it does have that like little bit of campy undertone, which it does have a lot of serious tone as well. But I just think that it makes it more fun that way,
Hell yeah.
especially being a clown movie. I feel like it needs to have that. So yeah, I'm excited for this show. I really, really enjoyed this movie. It's got me hyped for the show now. I think there's so much more to explore within just dairy as a whole, and obviously going back. I mean, I think they talk about in the movie there's 1908, there's 19, what is it like 30 something, and then or maybe it's yeah, it must be 30 something. I can't do math right now. And then 1962. So they at least have 3 seasons right there of like a
Yeah,
show they could explore, which I think is really cool. So, yeah, I'm glad we rewatched it. I'll probably watch the chapter 2 just because why not? Might as
I'm with
well.
you. Yeah, I'm with you there.
I give it 4 stars. That's kind of always where I've fallen. It's not like my favorite thing I've ever seen, but I think it's great modern horror. I think that it's definitely something that I'll revisit, every 4 or 5 years and enjoy. And I think that all the cast just does a great job with having a super great leading Pennywise with Bill Skarsgård. I think that really just is like the icing on the cake. So, yeah, I have mostly positive things to say about this movie. I just think that it can be a little long at times, and
Agreed.
I don't know if I love the fact that Bev gets brought out of the trance by a kiss. It feels a little
Yeah, weird
of
as
a cop
well.
out.
Like from Ben as well. Like that. It was just kind of
Yeah.
like it was. It's kind of like why did Ben think that that would work as well? Like there's a
I know, it's
couple of
just kind of
like
lame. I think
yeah,
they
I
could have
agree.
done something cooler for that. But otherwise, I think that that last like 30 minutes is pretty perfect horror film, but that kind of took me out of it a little bit.
Like I would have actually preferred it if hear me out, right? If they're just like she's dead, and then Ben just goes slap, like all of a sudden she wakes up. I think that would have been way better and funnier, and like would have just like would have made
Yes.
sense. It's like what happened? He goes, don't worry, we just woke you up, like something like that. It would have been way better than like a random kiss from a guy that's like in love with her, but she's nothing to him. Like
Well,
he's
especially at the end because she kisses Bill. It's just
yeah, that's what I'm
confusing.
saying.
It's
Of
weird.
like if it was going to be someone, like it was kind of weird there, but.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think this movie's a 4 out of 5. I think this movie's great. I think this movie will stand the test of time. More importantly, I think that Pennywise now, well, Bill's impression of Pennywise, incredible.
Hmm.
I think it's really well done. All the practical effects really obvious, and that's why it will stand the test of time. I think the cast is great, and it's just a fun time. It does overstay its welcome in points, but I agree. I agree with everything you said. 4 out of 5. We loved it. Next week, please go ahead and watch. It'll be doing Suspiria next. Suspiria, yay! Can't wait. We're doing Suspiria next, so
Haven't
please
seen
go
it.
watch it. That's Luca Guadagnino's Suspiria. I've never
Yeah.
watched it.
Same. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, hell yeah! And we'll be joined by a guest, someone that has
Will
appeared
we
on the.
be?
Yeah, that one. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones that we will be. Or it might
Oh,
be the
yeah,
one.
we are. We will
Yep.
be. Oh my gosh, you're so right. I
I
almost
was
forgot
just
for
like,
a
did I
second. Now
just
I just
fuck
got
up?
really excited.
Yeah, hell yeah! It's someone that has appeared before. That's all we'll say. But until next time, we'll go into a quick draft, which this is going to be a fun draft. We're going to go through horror movies that can be turned into TV shows. And Ash, because I'm feeling nice, I'm going to let you go first because I know this is a bit of a tough one for you, for
Yeah,
us.
I mean, I don't know if I'm just not as creative as you as far as like coming up with funny reasons. I think I was just thinking more like literally at first, just what would be a cool world. I wasn't even thinking like specifically like selling my case as to why it should be. a TV show. But the first one I immediately thought of, so I'm just gonna pick it, is Cabin in the Woods.
Love
Only
it. That was
because
on
I
my
feel like
list.
there's so much to explore with like the gods and just how they got to the creation of all of that, and then even exploring other areas and like what monsters or like things they decided to use.
Yep, love it.
Like some of the videos we get to see of other places. So I think that'd be kind of an interesting, maybe like a mini series, maybe not like an actual continuing TV show.
Yep.
But yeah,
No, that's a great one. Love that one. I'm gonna go with, hear me out, The Thing. Every season is like True Detective, where it's a group of people and one of them is a thing, and you got to, by the end of it, you got to try and figure out who it is, and that's every
I
single
love it. I
season.
I thought of that, but I didn't really have a good description as to what it would be like. But I love it.
Cool.
That's what I'm saying. You're more creative than me.
I'm pretty
I just don't
creative,
know.
dude.
Honestly, only because I am just absolutely here for more of him and this character. Okay, if we could make it happen this way, the menu, but it's just Ray Fiennes' character
Yep.
owning multiple different restaurants over like a period of time. Maybe each season is like a different era of his life as a chef. And he's just doing weird shit every time
I
with
like that.
all the annoying rich people.
I like that.
I know it's probably not feasible based on how the movie plot goes, but I'm going to just manifest it for a second.
I'm all about it. I love that. What about Sixth Sense? And it's literally just Medium, but with Haley Joel Osment. Where every episode he has like, it's like a case. It's like a case by case where every episode he's trying to help a dead person kind of become free.
I love it.
It's good. It's easy.
Never would have thought of that, but I love it. Okay. What about? I don't know if this would really work, but I want to see more Freddy. Like, can we do something with Nightmare on Elm Street? Like, there's got to
Yeah.
be more to do. What if we do like, even like go way back to like the parents and the origin of everything, or go deeper into just, more kids that were part of that. I don't know. I don't know what it would be.
It could
Or
even
even
be just
Freddy's
like,
childhood. I don't know.
it could
Something.
even be like, because I know we saw snippets of how he was found and like
Yeah.
killed, but it's all about like that whole story of like how they found out about him and stuff, and that all the parents kind of like turned on him. That could be
There's just
fun.
more to explore. And I just need more Robert Englund in general.
Yeah, with
So
you there.
something there.
I'm with you there. Okay. I did have. I did have. What's it called? Cabin in the Woods on my list. So that was well done. We could do. That'd be pretty shitty, to be honest. I would love a Hereditary series where it just goes more towards, it's all focused on the cult. Wouldn't that be fun?
Again, a mini series, I feel like, for something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, not a multi-series season stuff, but it's literally just like it follows like how the cult first started. I think would be cool. Even just like the young version of the grandma.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I like it. It's a good idea. Ugh, man, I'm struggling. I feel like I'm missing something, so I'm like trying to scroll a little bit to see if there's something that's going to pop out at me, but I guess I'm just going to have to go with what I've got here. I don't know why or how, because there's already a second movie and a third movie in the works, I believe. But I feel like 28 Days Later, like a zombie show, I know we've had those before, but like that world just feels
Yep.
gritty and dark and just different than like The Walking Dead.
Yep.
So I feel like there could be something there. It's
I
probably
was
been there,
thinking the
done
same
that.
with I
But
was thinking the same with Quiet Place, but I prefer 28.
yeah, I was thinking of that one too, but I was just like, I don't know, maybe people are sick of this. Maybe there's too much of these, like this world already, but I still feel like you could do more.
Yeah. Now, Ash, give me a mini series on HBO, Blair Witch Project.
Ooh.
Modern day, they go into the forest to try and find answers, and it's all with new technology and new ways to film
iPhone.
and stuff like that.
I
A
don't
lot
know
of,
how I feel about watching a movie that's just like a shaky iPhone cam. That'd be interesting.
but it's all just like different, like thermovision and stuff like that that they
Yeah.
could really take a hold of.
There's definitely a lot more you could do after 25 years.
Yeah, and don't show the witch like they did in that remake.
I don't think
You
I saw
remember
the
that?
remake.
Yeah, they turned around and you could see
I
the
never
monster
watched
like
it.
running at them.
Oh,
It's
that's
gross. It
annoying.
was weird.
Don't like that. Okay, my final one I'm actually pretty proud of. It'd probably be a really bad show because it would go on forever, but I don't care. Um, Final Destination, and it's following the families of all the people who that were not supposed to survive that we learned about in Bloodlines.
Oh, I did like that. That's
All
nice.
those families just follow, just follow them and see what happens to them. What kind of creative ways we can think of for kills for I don't
I
even
do
know
love that.
hundreds of families that weren't supposed to survive.
No, that's really good. I'm all about that. Um, I keep thinking of like ones that I'm like, but that could just be a sequel movie instead of just extending it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's an interesting prompt, but it's definitely tough.
What about Sinister? And each episode is a new cursed tape.
Yeah, like I think like on a mini series maybe or like a two
Again, yeah,
season
we
thing.
kind of get a bit.
I'm a little
Eh,
sad that you got Sinister on your list,
I
but
do love Sinister. I also
I
think
do
that
too.
that demon. What's his name? What's that demon out of Sinister called?
Oh my gosh, the B
Demon
starts with a
name.
B.
It's like Bagul.
Ba
Bagul?
Bagul. Thank you. I knew it
Yeah,
was a
that's
B.
right. Also known as the
Creepy.
Eater of Children.
Classic.
To summarize, Ash got Cabin in the Woods, The Menu, Nightmare on Elm Street, 28 Days Later or Years Later, there's that universe, and Final Destination. I got The Thing, Sixth Sense, Hereditary, Blair Witch Project, and Sinister. Ooh, nice. Well done, Ash. So until next time, please watch Suspiria, the Luca Guadagnino edition. I might just watch both of them, to be honest, just to kind of,
Watch both if you have time.
yeah, that'd be good fun. But until next time, I'm Harry, it's Ash. Love Death Movies. See you in the movies.